and welcome to this edition of Culture Mosaic, a weekly cultural express that brings you the latest updates on the Vietnamese cultural and entertainment scenes. For this week's episode, the theme of craftsmanship is very strong. You can see it in the pottery kiln making of a village in the south to the art of dioramas done by a unique artist in our On the Mic, or even a unique earrings made from polymer clay by a Hanoian designer. The techniques and materials used to create different themes and objects are very different, but they all transcend the aesthetic value of raw materials and the beautiful vision of the makers. So, let's start our journey right now. Đại Hùng Pottery Kiln helps preserve the local traditional craft and income for local people. Memories of Vietnam captured in the dioramas. Hanoian designer creates unique earrings from polymer clay. Now let's begin with some local news. Vietnamese airlines and destinations were named among the winners of the World Travel Awards 2022 region, Asia and Oceania, which took place in Ho Chi Minh City. This year, Vietnam received a series of nominations for different categories at the WTA 2022. The country was nominated for awards in the Asian region for leading destination, leading sustainable tourism destination, leading heritage destination, leading cultural destination, leading nature destination, leading youth travel destination, and leading beach destination. The capital city of Hanoi was shortlisted as Asia's leading city break destination and Asia's leading cultural city destination. Vietnam has been listed in the world's 10 most incredible destinations, which are surprisingly cheap to visit by Canadian travel magazine The Travel, along with Laos and Indonesia. Vietnam is one of the cheapest countries to visit and among the most underrated. The magazine said, eating local dishes will only cost you a few dollars per meal, and a cup of café sữa đá or iced coffee is less than $1. The drink has become an indispensable part of Vietnamese daily life in recent years, with millions starting their day with a cup in the morning. The travel also recommended tourists to explore Vietnam by bus or train with cheap fares. If visitors don't mind slow and long-distance travel, then buses and trains around Vietnam are among the most affordable in the world, making it easy to explore all of this beautiful country. The southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu held the annual nghinh or whale worshipping festival in Vũng Tàu City. This traditional event was attended by local fishermen, residents, and tourists. It began when over 100 vividly decorated boats and ships departed from Cầu Đá Port and Guri Island for the ritual to pray to the sea gods to bless them with peace and bumper catch, followed by a royal procession to Tam Temple, where the rituals would be performed. In addition, the festival also featured various cultural events and folk games attracting many visitors. The opening ceremony of the 2022 Bảo Lạc Love Market Cultural Week took place in Bảo Lạc District, Cao Bằng Province. This gives tourists the opportunity to come to this northern mountainous province to visit the Lolo Ethnic Community Cultural Village, the 15-story pass, and the Don Dong Mu National Historic Site. The event has been highly anticipated by locals for a long time. Many stalls featuring local cultural products and OCOP products have been introduced. The Love Market is considered a unique cultural feature of the ethnic people here. Since 2018, efforts have been made by Bảo Lạc district authorities to restore it, with the support of residents. The opening ceremony also featured many cultural activities, including traditional songs and dances performed by the local people. The Bắc Hà White Plateau Festival in Lao Cai Province takes place as the new green rice season approaches. One highlight of the festival is the fragrant green rice of the White Plateau event, where people of the Tây villages in Bắc Hà district make green rice from the autumn rice harvest. The festival is a cultural and tourism event that aims to introduce and promote Bakha tourism, as well as its unique traditional values. According to Bakha District People's Committee, 30,000 visitors are expected to arrive for the event. Đêm tối rực rỡ, or The Brilliant Darkness by director Aaron Toronto, was honored as the best feature film at Golden Kite Awards 2021, which were held in Nha Trang on September the 13th. The film has achieved a great success as the Golden Kite Awards 2021, claiming the Best Screenplay Award for Lý Nguyễn Nhã Uyên. The Vietnam Television Film Center VFC continued to win big this year with its production of Thương Ngày Nắng Về, or The Return of Sunny Days, as well as 11 tháng 5 ngày, or 11 months and 5 days in the category for TV drama series. The awards honored the Best Director, Best Cinematographer, Best Actor and Actress in Leading Role, Best Actor and Actress in Supporting Role, and Best Screenplay, among others, as well as outstanding works. The new music video for Dan Vo's song A Lousy Actor is the #1 trending video on YouTube one day after its release. The MV was featured Dan Vo wearing retro clothing, performing with his band in a dimly lit room. Through the video, the rapper tells the story of a man who feels he has to act in front of his crush but fails to hide his emotions. Dan Vo composed and completed the video within a week. Đại hùng Puerto Rican in Hamlet 1, Tương Bình Hiệp Commune, Thủ Dầu Một City, Bình Dương Province, is famous nationwide for producing different kinds of jars, jugs, vessels, and wash basins. For many years, artisans here have followed the traditional method of production. This unique pottery kiln not only helps preserve the local traditional craft, but also contributes to developing the economy in the area.
Dai Hung pottery kiln has existed in this land for 200 years. Bui Van Jong, or known as Tam Jong, the owner of the pottery kiln, has worked here for nearly 50 years. The main products of the kiln are jars, jugs, vessels and wash basins. For the jars alone, there are different kinds. The largest is capable of holding up to 200 liters of water. Jugs are also used to hold water, but they are smaller than jars. Most of these products are enameled with brownish colors and decorated with embossed dragons and phoenixes. For many years, artisans here have followed the traditional method of production. The process of making pottery products are made by hands with the materials gathered locally.
Đầu tiên thì anh bắt đất mới vô cái khuôn, xong rồi anh mới in xong rồi anh mới úp ra cái tấm bổ để đem đi phơi, là để cho nó khô khoảng chừng 3-4 tiếng 5 tiếng đồng hồ rồi bắt đầu đem vô mới ráp. Nó không khô quá ráp cũng không được, mà ướt quá ráp cũng không được. Nó cũng vừa rin được là ráp được. Sau khi mình mới làm cái đất nhuyễn nữa, đất mịn nữa, mình mới trét những cái mối ráp của nó là cho nó mới dính lại, nó mới cứng lại luôn. Mình xây tỉnh nước mắm, mình xây những cái con heo, mình làm này cái nung truyền thống là tất nhiên là hồi xưa giờ là chụm bằng củi. Nung sản phẩm này thì kéo dài thì khoảng 20 ngày mới nung một lần, nhưng mà nung một lần là y một dây lò, mình vô hết một dây lò mình mới nung. Nếu mà bây giờ nếu chỉ mình chụm lửa thì mình chụm 3 ngày 3 đêm, mình mới bắt đầu ra đồ.
Cái nghề gốm này là cha truyền con nói không có học chứ kheo từ hồi nhỏ là kheo cha mẹ làm riết, rồi tới cha mẹ già rồi tới con làm tiếp. rồi con cháu đó, rồi cái đời này cái lò lu này là 6 đời, cái ông là ông Tam Giang này là đời thứ 6, là khoảng hơn 200 năm rồi đó, cho nên là nó giúp cho cái khu vực dân cư nó có công ăn việc làm, con người cuộc sống nó ổn định và nó cũng thay đổi cái đời sống người ta, giúp.
Nguyen Van Ben, 67 years old, has been working here for 30 years. During 30 years, he does only one work, that is to dig the clay, absorb it into water and then make it ground to create the most smooth clay.
Chứ tại nắng vậy đỡ rồi, trời mưa để không được, nhưng mà nó làm được mình phải gán, không gán là đất người ta làm, mình phải lo. Đất này nhờ có đá mới giữ được cái đồ, còn đất chỉ dẻo quá, hầm cái lâu quá, nó không đứng sụm chút, nó bầu cái đồ, thành nó không đẹp.
Nó nói về cái vất vả là nhất nếu là các nghề, bởi vì cái nghề vất vả bằng nghề thủ công, bằng nó làm bằng tay chân mà hàng nặng, không thì nó rất vất vả mà nó dơ lắm. Nên về nói về những người yêu nghề mới còn ở đây chứ. Trước tới giờ thì tại vì trong gia đình hồi xưa ông ba má tới anh chị em thì sống cái nghề này đến bây giờ, thì cũng nhờ cái nghề này mà cái cuộc sống trong gia đình có cơm ăn áo mặc. Nên vì có cái là trong gia đình là quyết định là yêu nghề, giữ nghề truyền thống lại, là mới gia đình mới xen vô đây để giữ gìn lại cái nghề truyền thống của gốm.
Products of Dai Hung Pottery Kiln now can be exported to Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand. In October 2006, the kiln was recognized as a provincial-level relics thanks to the great effort made by its fifth owner Bui Van Jong to preserve and protect the craft.
Think of a personal object that you own, like the phone, for example. Once lost, suddenly, all the memories and stories that are attached to those objects can rush back to you and overwhelm you with emotions. So as not to lose touch with those precious memories, a dioramatist has turned her personal objects of affection into small figurines as a keepsakes and shared them with the world so that we can all reminisce about the good old days. So let's take a stroll down memory lane with today's guest on the mic.
A table full of Lunar New Year's treats. A school desk that all Vietnamese students have known at some points in their lives. And a sugarcane juice stall that is too familiar with sweet lovers. Though these objects seem to pass by nonchalantly for everyday Vietnamese, to someone who has been living outside the country for a long time, they become objects of loving, filled with memories and stories. Huỳnh Lộc Ngọc is a diorama artist, and she is determined to capture those memories in small dioramas of Vietnamese sceneries. With accurate details and striking photography, Ngọc is bringing memories which are once lost back to those who come across her work.
The only reason to have this is to remind me of my parents who loves them.
Those times, they remind me of my childhood.
I used to drink it, sugarcane juice, when I was 5 or 8 years old.
So many memories.
Hello Ngọc and welcome to our show on the mic.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Your dioramas of Vietnamese sceneries and objects are very well received on social media. Why do you think it resonates with so many people?
I think I've been just really touched with the support that I've received because I spent so much time researching, asking my mom on her opinion, her experience, what her perspective and thoughts are on whatever it is I'm making. And then I kind of condense it down. And I think I learn a lot about things too through that process. Because, for example, I made like these white slippers that I see all the time. You know, I saw it at my mom's house. I saw it when I was in Vietnam, but I didn't know that they were called Yap To until I was like Googling it and then trying to find pictures. So I think that maybe that's something that a lot of Vietnamese people like living outside of Vietnam really resonate with because they learn a lot about, themselves and their culture in the process.
And what is the definite moment that you know that you wanted to make dioramas of Vietnamese sceneries and objects? Do you have any specific stories about that?
I think like one of the first miniatures that I made was like my grandma's wheelchair. She like lived in the same house as my dad, and she also meant like so much to me. All of my family live in Hue, and I think just kind of like thinking about people who mean a lot to me and those memories just makes me really happy. And I just love to like hold on to it. I think it's just so much different than just thinking about something, just seeing it right in front of me where I can touch it and hold it just makes me feel so happy. So yeah, I think that's kind of why.
And can you tell me what is your most prized dioramas that you own? And do you have any associated memories with, those dioramas?
So I have two. The first one is of my dad's bookcase. So he really loved to read. My mom said that's why he named me Long Ngọc. When he passed, that bookcase was like still there in the house, a record of all the books that he kept. And then he would write in it as well, like who he lent his books to. Like he's very meticulous. Just making that and thinking about how like it's still there after all these time makes me feel, I don't know, happy but nostalgic. The miniature version is actually with my sister in New Mexico, and I know that she feels really happy kind of like having it there at her desk, whenever she misses him. The other, I gave this one to my mom as a surprise, but it's a miniature of my house that I grew up in. I have memories being in that house during like this huge flood in Vietnam. I think it was like in 1999. It like basically filled the whole first floor of our house. So my mom and I were just on the second floor, like at least a week. I don't know. My memory could be wrong. And then I have a lot of memories being in that house and then like climbing over the balcony over to my cousin's house because they lived right next door. So that house means a lot to me. And I know it meant a lot to my mom as well because I know she has different memories that she holds on to when she thinks about that or when she sees that house. So those are like the two, I guess, that means a lot to me.
Những cái mô hình Ngọc làm đối với cô thì rất là emotion. Cô nhìn đến ngôi nhà của cô mà cô không ngờ luôn. Thì đúng là mình rất là xúc động. Cô nghĩ về Ngọc giống như là một người mà chuyên đi giữ gìn quá khứ, giữ gìn cái ký ức.
Capturing memories is a way for Ngọc to keep her heritage alive while being away from Vietnam. Moving to the US at the young age of only 8 years old, Ngọc never really had the experience as being out of place in a foreign country. But by living in a community full of Vietnamese people like Texas, it helps to remind Ngọc of her own roots and prompt her to find out more about her home country and make her childhood memories last through dioramas.
Is making dioramas therapeutic for you in some ways, as a way to probably make peace with the past or capture memories that you don't want it to fade away?
I think I just like to hold on to things. I think sometimes when we think about things, the past, or at least in my case, when I think about the past, I think what really kind of helps me kind of like move on is just being able to make something, have it be there, and then I feel like I don't think about things as much anymore. So it's just kind of like, I guess, my way to get closure, especially with like the Vietnamese related like dioramas. I hope that my dioramas helps people learn more about Vietnamese culture, connect with Vietnamese culture, and feel very proud to be Vietnamese. And I hope that it brings people, especially people living outside of Vietnam, a lot of comfort, especially with not being able to go back during COVID. So I hope it brings people a lot of comfort and happiness.
Thank you so much, Ngọc, for spending your time with us today and sharing very interesting stories about your dioramas as well as your personal journey. We hope that in the future, your work will receive even more praise all across social medias and Vietnamese people all over the world.
artwork can be grandeur or miniature, and sometimes wearable. One young designer in Hanoi has turned earrings into her creative space, using flexible, versatile polymer clay, which originates in Europe. She makes abstract accessories with inspiration drawn from the palettes of world-renowned painters, as well as the diverse colors of her home city. Her products have gained popularity thanks to their spontaneity and uniqueness, and she also collaborates with other artisans to elevate Vietnamese craftsmanship. So, let's meet this talented designer in Connecting Cultures.
Strokes of bright colors, funky mix and match of shapes and textures. Creativity thrives regardless of canvas sizes. Choosing earrings as her playground, Hanoian designer Trịnh Hạ Miên creates unique works from polymer clay, a modern material that originated in Europe in the 1930s. The versatile material enables her to combine techniques from other genres like oil painting, pottery, and even nail art.
Sự khác biệt giữa đất sét polymer và đất nung gốm mà mình thường thấy ở Việt Nam đấy chính là mình làm thì nó không tốn quá nhiều thời gian và mình chỉ cần một chiếc nướng dân dụng. Cái thời gian nung nó không lâu như là nung gốm, và khi mà sử dụng đất sét polymer này, cái trọng lượng nó rất là nhẹ hơn nhiều so với gốm và nó không bị vỡ như là mình sử dụng gốm nếu mà mình làm trang sức. Và nó rất là đa dạng về màu sắc cũng như là các chất liệu, thì mình lại càng có nhiều cơ hội, càng có nhiều ý tưởng để mà thực hành và chơi với nó.
Miên does not predetermine a process for creativity. She may plan a style or decide that some pairs will go into a themed collection. But designing for her is more about experimenting with colors and effects, and even clumps of leftover clay can become a new spontaneous design. She's named Vietnamese and well-renowned painters as sources of inspiration, being particularly fond of the palettes of Le Faux and Matisse. But the works of contemporary peers have also sparked ideas.
Mình không muốn bị cột mác là người chỉ chuyên sản xuất những cái phong cách A hoặc phong cách B, mà mình bất cứ một cái chủ đề nào nếu mà nó đủ sức hấp dẫn thì mình sẽ biến nó trở thành khuyên tai. Ví dụ như là đi các cái hội chợ thủ công và ngắm nghía rất là nhiều các cái bạn mà nghệ nhân khác. Nó là một cái nguồn cảm hứng để cho mình, ví dụ như là các bạn làm về đồ len chẳng hạn, thì mình sẽ chuyển cái bề mặt đấy sang cái chất liệu của mình chẳng hạn.
With hopes that her earrings aren't just accessories but vehicles for telling cultural stories, the designer has collaborated with other artisans, sharing an interest for embedding twist of Viet spirits and patterns in modern art. Her own works and collabs alike have been appreciated for their uniqueness.
Trong các cái thiết kế khuyên tai của Miên thì có hai tính mà mình cảm thấy rất là ấn tượng, đấy là tính độc bản và tính sáng tạo, giúp cho cái đôi khuyên tai trở nên độc nhất vô nhị, cũng như là nó có những cái câu chuyện và cái bản sắc riêng của nó.
Các sản phẩm của Miên thì đều mang cái tính triết lý phát triển bền vững rất là cao, kết nối đến thông điệp bảo vệ môi trường hoặc là một cái thông điệp liên quan đến việc tự tin và tin tưởng vào cái sắc đẹp riêng của bản thân. Đây cũng là một cái triết lý chung mà mình nhìn thấy ở các thương hiệu thủ công của Việt Nam.
I found her early on in 2019 and it stuck out to me. One as a local artisan, but she found a way to blend her culture and also have it appealing to foreigners and tourists alike. I know just not myself, but friends that are here all love what she creates.
May mắn là tạo ra được một cái sân chơi chung dành cho các bạn thợ thủ công trẻ của Hà Nội cũng như là ở các vùng miền khác của Việt Nam, cùng kể một câu chuyện, cùng hướng về một thứ, đấy là đưa thủ công hiện đại của Việt Nam có thể là có tiếng nói hơn và được yêu chuộng hơn. Đầu tiên là sẽ phải được yêu chuộng hơn bởi người Hà Nội, bởi người Việt Nam đã, rồi sau đấy có thể cái câu chuyện nó thể rộng hơn, là có thể đến các bạn quốc tế hơn là
And that is the end of our program. If you'd like to catch us online, download the VTV Go app from your Google Play or App Store, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go for more of our programs. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Goodbye for now.